Change will not happen in some sort of seamless, easy way. Win, 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 always win. You win some, you lose some. You succeed, you fail. You have to overcome that obstacle of fear of failure that says, if I try and it doesn't work, what if? Oh well. You learn from it. Sometimes, what you learn is just that people lie to you. Sometimes, it's not something you learn about yourself that you have to change. Sometimes you learn that the timing isn't right. If it was up to me, and just speak for my own life and things that are happening with me, I would line things up. This, then this, then this, then this. That's how I would do it, because I want everything to go the right way and the way I see it. That doesn't necessarily mean that's how God sees it, or that it's even best for us. Maybe it's not best for everything to go your way. Maybe God has a plan, and he's going to shape you and mold you and make you and grow you and develop you spiritually into a better person through failure. Got to overcome the obstacles. Now, what else on this spiritual growth plan? You have to take risks. You have to take risks. Growth requires taking risks into uncharted territory. There's just no other way around it. In order to grow, you'll have to go places you've never been. You'll have to try things you've never tried. You'll have to meet people you've never met. You'll have to do things you've never done. That's it. If you don't want to do those things, then you are not going to be able to grow. Now, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. People sometimes think of me as some kind of big risk taker, and I just want to say I am not a crazy risk taker. I'm a calculated risk taker, and I would encourage you to be a calculated risk taker. I'm not saying you do things that are nutty and you just go off without, you do your homework, you think about it, you try to envision that it would be a calculated thing to do, but then at some point you have to do it. You must increase your abilities. You must increase your skills. You must increase your capacities in many areas of life if you are going to grow. Or you can stay the same. If you're unhappy, now let's just take this beyond the spiritual for a moment. If you're unhappy professionally, something has to change. You have to be willing to take the risk to do things you haven't done in order to go places you haven't gone before. It may be a risky thing to go get another degree and incur that kind of cost. Will that benefit me? Well, you'll have to do the calculations and see. Maybe there is a more inexpensive route to get there. Maybe there isn't. You have to look at the long-term span of life. I've had two friends of mine that have gone back to school in their 40s. Both of them, I would say, are unashamedly, unabashedly convinced that was a great move, was a very hard thing to do, was a risky thing to do. But now the rest of their 20-plus years of their professional careers are going to be much better because of it. I mean, don't sell yourself short like, well, I'm too old. How old are you? I'm 41. I'm too old. 41 means you have more years professionally ahead of you than you have behind you. It's hardly a too late to do anything kind of proposition. Spiritually speaking, what does it mean to take risks, to step out in faith? We've been talking about tithing. What is it? It's nothing but it's a step of faith. I'm going to give 10% of everything I make to God, and God's going to take care of me. It's a risky thing to do. When you do it, you enter into the most exciting part of the spiritual life, this thing called faith. And you watch how God has blessed you. I gave this church for a Christmas offering $1,000, and in the last 2 months, in three different ways. I just got a $387 check this week. I've just completely out of the blue. I got a $400 check previously and a $200 check. I've gotten almost all my money back, right? I'm $13 away from $1,000. You give, God blesses you. You don't give, God doesn't bless you. And again, that's as if that all we're talking about is finances when there's so many other ways God blesses a person that are far beyond just that. You've got to take risks. You've got to be willing to make the move. You have to be willing to make the call. You have to, at some point, are you going to do it or not? Well, what if I get rejected, Pastor Rick? Yeah. Who likes it? Nobody. But many times, you have to be willing to take the risk because the answer may be yes. The answer may be, wow, this is way better than I ever could have imagined. You never get there. You'll never get there if you choose to just stay where you are. There has to be a willingness to step out in faith.